Okay, here we construct the labor market model. On the vertical axis, we've got the real wage. This is the real wage. On the horizontal axis, we've got the unemployment, and then we've got the wage setting relations, and then we've got the price setting relations. Then we can identify the natural rate of unemployment. Let us start off with the wage setting relations. We'll start by defining the determinants of the wages, of the wage setting relations. What are those determinants? The first one is the expected price. The second one is the unemployment. The third one is the institutional factors, which is represented by symbol Z. So what the labor does, the labor bargains in terms of the nominal wage to achieve the real wage. So that is why we call this a target real wage or a desired real wage. So the labor bargains in terms of nominal wage to achieve the real wage. So they are not sure of how much the price is. So they just assume that the expected price is equal to the actual price. And then the question is, how does the price affect the real wage? You'll remember in the previous video that we said that the real wage is equal to a nominal wage divided by the price. So if we take 100 rand, for example, as the nominal wage and 50 rand as a price, then you will find that the consumer can get two baskets of goods and services. So if for some apparent reason the price increases, let's say it increases from 50 to 60 now, and then we'll see that the consumer will get something like 1.6%. So the real wage decreases in this way. So the labor will be forced to bargain for a higher wage. So in a nutshell, we can say that there is a positive relationship between wages and prices. When prices goes up, the wages are expected to increase. The opposite is true. When prices go down, the wages are expected to go down. So let's come to the second factor, which is the unemployment. How does the unemployment affect the wage? When the unemployment is higher, the bargaining position of labor will be lower. And then the wages will be lower. So this means that if the unemployment is higher, it is difficult for you to find a job, while it is easier for the employers to replace you. So the opposite is true. When unemployment is lower, the bargaining position will be higher. And then wages will also be higher. So let's come to the third factor, which is the institutional factors. Here we are talking about all the factors that affect the nominal wage. Those factors could include the minimum wage. We're talking about minimum wages, employment benefits, employment benefits. So in a nutshell, you can say that the wage setting relations is equal to a function of prices, expected price, unemployment, and the institutional factors. So there is a positive relationship between wages and prices. There is a negative relationship between wages and unemployment. And here, the relationship depends on how these factors changes. When minimum wages increases, the wages will be higher, but when they decrease, the wages will be lower. That's how we can construct the labor market model.